Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. I'm joined by a very happy FABRIZIO Romano. How are you doing, FABRIZIO?
Hello, my friend. Big pleasure to be together. Sorry for my voice. Not at top level, but I think you can understand why. It was a crazy 2 days celebrating Italy.
Yeah, as long as you don't come on singing "It's Coming Rome," I think we'll be fine. But no, I tell you what, we were just saying before the game, before we went live there, that Italy were fantastic in the tournament. Spinazzola didn't play, Chiesa went off injured. And as an Englishman, I can congratulate you wholeheartedly and say that I think the better team won. So well done. What did you think, just very quickly, about what did you think about England, where they got it wrong? As an Italian, you're obviously very happy you won, but what were you surprised with England, or did you just feel that Italy would be too good?
To be honest, no. I see a lot of criticism around England, but I think they did something fantastic in these Euros. They have a lot of young players. When I see the team of England and when I see what happened is terrible with the young players like Sancho and Rashford and, of course, Bukayo Saka. You have to protect these players because really you have incredible talents, maybe some of the best in the world with a fantastic team. So I'm sure they have the future on their side. It will be bright. So I think it's just a matter of time. They had a lot of pressure, of course, in playing at Wembley against Italy, who are really used to this kind of situation because we had many finals in the Euros and in the World Cup in the last 20 years. So, we are in a different position. You have the future because you have many talents. So I think for England, it's just a matter of time, and I'm sure they will do something great. But congrats again, because arriving to the final, to the penalties, saving 2 penalties with Pickford is never something easy.
The Jorginho penalty as well. He deserved better. Yes. What a save that was. Anyway, let's talk about Manchester United. Let's actually start off. You mentioned Jaden Sancho there. I saw your tweet about the medical being completed. Have you got any idea? Because I saw something last week that you said that United have got something big planned. Any idea when we can expect that to happen? Do you think it could be tonight, tomorrow, Thursday?
To be honest, not 100% sure, because it's up to the club, and it's normal that they want to protect this info and then they want to break the social media with their announcement. And it's normal when you're signing this player after a lot of time waiting for Jaden Sancho to join the club. I think this week everything will be announced. So maybe in 24 or 48 hours, we will have the announcement. They are working on it. And I'm really happy for Manchester United fans because they deserve this player. So finally you have Jaden Sancho.
Yeah, it's probably the longest one of the longest transfers we've worked on. I mean, I remember we're coming up almost for a year now. When in August the 4th, wasn't it, when you said it's getting close, but we're finally there with that. Let's talk about another transfer, Rafael Varane. This is the one that a lot of United fans are moving towards now. I would have asked you this yesterday, but I'll ask you now. We had yesterday, I think it was, might have been Sky Sports or the Manchester Evening News, were saying that Man United still working on personal terms and that PSG were interested. Obviously, when we were talking about email yesterday, you said that personal terms are not a problem. Where are we at with Varane and Manchester United now? And should we be worried about PSG or more likely staying at Real Madrid?
I think Paris Saint-Germain are not signing other centre-backs after signing Sergio Ramos, so I don't see Paris Saint-Germain signing Varane this summer. Maybe next one, if he will be a free agent, of course, could be an opportunity. But this summer, there is nothing going on with Paris Saint-Germain. They had an interest, but before signing Sergio Ramos, so I think it will be really difficult to see Real Madrid selling both Varane and Ramos to the same club. And talking about Manchester United, I continue saying that they have no problem on personal terms. Varane would love to join Premier League and Manchester United in this case, and also by economical point of view there are no issues. So by the player side there is no problem. Now they need to talk with Real Madrid. I'm working on it because I know that contacts are going on between all the parts involved to understand what's going to happen with the player, what will be his final decision about the future, because he's still under contract with Real Madrid for 1 more season. Then we will see what Varane will say to Real Madrid after his holidays. But what I'm told is that his desire is to try something new. And that's why Manchester United are really, really trying for Rafael Varane. Let's wait some maybe days to understand really how the situation with Real Madrid will be and how much Manchester United will bid, because at the moment they're waiting for Real Madrid to decide about the price tag, because at the moment there is still no price tag, but they're working on it. So Manchester United are working on this Varane deal and they want Rafael Varane, and personal terms are not an issue.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you told us yesterday, and I appreciate that, especially about PSG. Do you think that... I'm just thinking how to phrase this. Is Madrid the biggest risk then, that he might decide to stay, but then they would have to up this offer, which is considered to be, from what I've read, quite a little bit below what Manchester United are going to offer.
Yes, I don't see the player as a risk, and I see Real Madrid as a potential risk in this deal. Yes, just because, when we are talking about Real Madrid, we have always to remember that they have power to do many things with the players, of course, trying to convince him with Carlo Ancelotti, with an important contract. We are talking about Real Madrid and not about a small club with a player desperate to leave the club. He wants to try something new, but Real Madrid are just waiting for him to take his final decision and coming back from holidays. But what I can say is that my feeling is that once Manchester United will have the price tag from Real Madrid, they will start decide about this deal and about the potential official bid. At the moment, they had contacts with Real Madrid, so the two clubs are in contact, but not yet official bid. But the player, in my opinion, is not a risk in this deal, because what I'm told is that Varane wants to try something new, and since November, when he signed with his new agency, really close to Premier League clubs, is because he wants to try something different, maybe in England.
Yeah, and with Varane, I think is he due back? Do you got any idea when Varane's due back? Is it next week or a couple of weeks? I'm just trying to think how long this deal's probably like to go on for the next few weeks.
It's player by player, really. We have players coming back soon immediately, and players prefer to keep some days on holidays. So I think it will take, maybe this week we will have some answer from this side. But I'm sure that the position of Varane at the moment is he wants to try something new. This is his position.
Brilliant. And if it doesn't happen with Varane, I saw something over the weekend about Koundé liking a move to Manchester United. Are we still talking about a big list, but really United are not looking at that list because they want Varane?
Varane is the top target, 100%. Varane is top of the list, and they will try for Varane till they have the chance to do it. Then as other names, I mentioned Pau Torres because they've always been scouting Pau Torres. He has a release clause. He's an interesting player for Manchester United. Koundé also, he has a release clause, but Sevilla would be prepared to accept around 60-65 million euro. Remember also about Tottenham on Koundé, because it's not easy, but also Tottenham are interested in Koundé. And then talking about other centre-backs, Christian Romero is another one to keep an eye on, because he's another player that Manchester United have always been scouting. So I would mention these names like potential option in the deal, in the defense, but the top target is Rafael Varane. So till Varane will be on the market, Manchester United will be trying for him.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get something developing in the next week or two on that one. And it still sounds very good and positive for United, as positive as you can be when you haven't actually bought anybody. Let's talk about Camavinga then. Now, my understanding with Camavinga, obviously we spoke last week, is that he's back in training with Rennes. Personal terms, again, probably wouldn't be a problem with Camavinga, but it does seem to be stalling. Is that to do with maybe Camavinga wants to see whether the PSG is an opportunity, but PSG are looking at Pogba, or is there other reasons why this has gone a bit quiet?
No, I think, as we said last week, they are not in a rush with Camavinga. Camavinga is not in a rush because when you have this kind of opportunity, or leaving your club as a free agent, maybe next summer, you have the power. Camavinga has the power in this deal to decide his next club, the best project, the best proposal on contract side. So he has the power, and he wants to take his time to decide about future. Manchester United are in talks with people close to Camavinga, with Rennes to understand about the situation on the price, 30, 35 million euro, maybe 40. They have to negotiate with Rennes about it, but they are in the race. Paris Saint-Germain are in the race too, because they want a midfielder, maybe this summer, maybe to go for next summer as free agent, but they are really interested in Camavinga. The race is still open, but Manchester United are in this race. So they are in contact, they know about the situation, they are keeping tabs on the deal. And we will see. At the moment, it's quiet just because the player is not in a rush. He's not desperate to leave tomorrow morning. Because also, if any club want to reach an agreement with Rennes this summer, he will be able to sign with any other club in 6 months, in 5 months, in January, for the next season, of course. And he will pick for the next one with an incredible salary. Because also, when you sign as free agent, your salary is bigger. So he's really relaxed. He's waiting to see what happens, but Manchester United are in the race.
So many of these players, Camavinga, Pogba, Varane, Mbappe, Lingard, so many of them with 1 year left on the contract. It'd be interesting to see how many actually do move this summer. Just on Paul Pogba, is there still hope for Manchester United that he could stay? I mean, I think we're going to be waiting a while for a final decision. I presume he's just still thinking through his options.
He is thinking, but I think there are chances for Pogba to stay. Yes, I won't say 100% because, of course, we are in the market and everything could happen. And we have rumors about Paris Saint-Germain. They are interested, but as many other clubs. So it's one of the possibilities, but they have chances to keep Pogba. Yes, they want to keep Paul Pogba and they want to talk with him on new contract. So they are really trying for Pogba to stay at Manchester United. Then we will see what happens. But as I said last time, I continue saying that I see a lot of reports saying maybe 40 million euro, 45. Manchester United are not selling Pogba for this money. They are not selling Pogba for 40 million euro. It's impossible. They prefer to take the risk, keep the player, and try to negotiate a new contract in the next months instead of selling him for 40 million euro. So if Paris Saint-Germain or any other club will try for Pogba, it should be for more than this.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because I mean, and you know more than me because you deal with these deals and agents and contacts all the time. I would be so surprised if Mino Raiola and Paul Pogba would sign a new contract at Manchester United for even £500,000 a year, when £500,000 a week, when you know in a year's time you could be getting 25 million agent fees and all that. It's so intriguing. But I think even as United fans, we're sort of not focusing on it as much, because I think you said last week, come September the 1st, the opportunity to get money for Pogba is basically gone, really.
Yes, yeah, this is true. This is 100% true. Also because, I don't see Pogba leaving the club maybe in January. So if you want to keep Pogba, you go with it, but you have to take the risk of losing the player as free agent. You have to find an agreement with Raiola. So it's a complicated situation, but also about salaries. Manchester United now need to make a decision. So you are going now with Sancho, and if you want to extend Pogba contract, he has to be for an important salary, maybe one of the best of the team, without maybe one of the best of the team. And also talking about Bruno Fernandes. He's talking with Manchester United or a new contract, and they're going to talk about it in the next weeks. It's something they're talking now. So, also with this salary topic is something important for Manchester United. And for Pogba contract, salary will be something really important, because if they want to keep Pogba, and they want to try and to keep Pogba, they have to offer him an important contract, really, really important.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, because someone just said there, well, he could go in January. Why would he go in January when he's 3 or 4 months away from getting major money? If we're selling him, he's got to go before the end of September. Just talking on the wages there, one, I mean, I can see people talking about it. I don't know whether there is any change on David De Gea, because he's on massive wages. And this is, I think it keeps getting mentioned because we've got 2 goalkeepers and one of them's on massive money. Even if it's a loan deal, is there anything around David De Gea at the moment?
At the moment, no. The Roma rumors were fake, and now they signed Rui Patricio from Wolverhampton. From Spain, at the moment, there is nothing going on. As you said, when you have this kind of salary, and it's a huge salary, really huge, it's a pre-COVID contract, so it's something that is impossible to see today for a goalkeeper. I think it will be really complicated to sell David De Gea this summer, and I see Manchester United going on with Henderson and De Gea. Then we will see, because we are in full market, or maybe tomorrow any other club will decide to bid for De Gea. But at the moment, there is nothing. They are not negotiating to sell David De Gea. And with this salary, will be really complicated also, because De Gea has no intention to change his salary. And so the situation is really difficult at the moment.
And we've had a little bit about West Ham and Jesse Lingard. I don't know whether you've heard anything about him as an outgoing player or a new contract at United. Anything you've heard on Jesse?
I told that some club from other countries were asking for Lingard situation in general, not with a bid, but just asking for a situation some days ago. And the answer was West Ham or Manchester United, still the same. So West Ham are still in the race. They're still trying and pushing for Lingard. And also the player is waiting to see what happens, what will be the proposal. Also on his side, I don't see Manchester United made any discount for Lingard just because he's out of contract in 1 year. So or he's extending the contract, or they're selling Lingard for the right price. But West Ham are still keen on just Lingard. We will see in the next days. At the moment, it's not something imminent, but West Ham are still there, and Manchester United are always relaxed because, they feel that the player, if he's staying, is because he's ready to sign a new contract.
I should have done this at the start because I'm going back to Italy again. Two stories, one out, one in. Delot and De Lorenzo. We've had stories about Milan and Delot, and Real Madrid and Delot staying. And also we got linked to De Lorenzo this week, the Italian right back. And any developments on that, or clarity you can give us on that?
No, talking about Giovanni Di Lorenzo, he's a good player. With Napoli, always did something good. Also at the Euros with Italy, he was good. but there is nothing with Manchester United. Nothing. Also talking with his agent, he's denying any rumor about Manchester United, also because he has a 4 years contract with Napoli, so long, so they are not in danger or in a rush, but they're going to extend this contract for one more season. So he will sign a new contract in the next days, and I see Di Lorenzo staying at Napoli. Maybe for the future, Manchester United or any other Premier League club will try, but at the moment there is nothing serious going on. And talking about Diogo Dalot, I keep hearing news about AC Milan, like if they're close to sign Dalot. It's not like this. They want Dalot, and it's true. Dalot would love to come back to Italy, and AC Milan, he had fantastic times here. But at the moment, first of all, Dalot has always been respectful. So if Manchester United will decide to keep him, he will be fighting to play for Manchester United and creating competition to Wan-Bissaka. But at the moment, Manchester United are saying no to any loan bid for Diogo Dalot. They want money or they keep the player. This is the position of Manchester United. And in my opinion, it's a smart one because the player is good and he can create competition with Wan-Bissaka. So this is the situation right now, and I don't see Manchester United accepting a loan bid. If they pay a huge loan fee with a buy option, maybe it could be an opportunity. But at the moment, the bid is really low. That's why Manchester United are saying no to AC Milan.
And one question I did want to ask you about the transfer window in general. We're into July now. The Euros have just finished. The Copa America has just finished. Teams are going to gradually start getting players back. Do you think, or from what your experience of this transfer window so far, do you think we're going to see a really busy back end of July, or do you think clubs will start the season and be doing business into August? Because there seems to be Harry Kane, Haaland. I'm not saying they're going to move, but there's still a lot of Ronaldo's future. There's a lot of Pogba, obviously. Do you see this is going to go into August, or do you think at some point teams are just going to try and get things done really quickly before the start of their season?
I see a 50-50, because now, of course, in the next 2 weeks, some club need to do something important. They need to do something important. So I see some big deals to be completed in the next 2 weeks. But to be honest, some big one, when we talked about Harry Kane or Erling Haaland and these kind of things, I don't see this deal happening with imminent timing, like in 1 week or 2 weeks. It will be really long also because their clubs, Tottenham, Borussia Dortmund, they don't want to sell these players. So they're not selling this player in some days. So I think now after the Euros, we will have a bit of movement around the market, of course. But then in August, we'll be ready with the big names. It's something normal in the market in general. After the Euros, after World Cup, it's always like this.
And just one that just come through here. I'm hoping this isn't going to be true, but it happens a lot with United players. Like we mentioned Van der Beek last week. Now we're hearing about Telles, who's struggling to get game time because we've got a very good left back in Luke Shaw. He's been linked with Roma again. Everyone seems to get linked with Roma. Eric Bailly, now it's Telles. Are Roma in for any of our players? I suppose that's the better question. Are you hearing of any of our players?
At the moment, no. It's true with Telles. It's true that he was not so happy some months ago, I would say, about his situation at Manchester United because he wanted to play. And now Luke Shaw is in a fantastic period, so it's normal for him to look at the situation. But I'm told that there is nothing advanced yet with Inter or Roma. We have a lot of rumors about Italian clubs. He was good in Italy when he was playing with Inter some years ago, but at the moment there is still nothing going on because Manchester United, they have to sign a centre-back. They have to decide about midfielders to see what happens with Van der Beek, Pogba and more. They are planning to do something with the right back. So now also selling Telles would mean to sign a new left back, and it would be also about the timing, a potential problem. So maybe in August we will have some update on this side, but it's nothing like going on now or imminent.
Great. Well, look, Fabrizio, as ever, thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And we do send our congratulations to you. And thank you for not singing. Thank you for not singing It's Coming Rome. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And really see you next week. And always a pleasure to be together.
Thank you very much, Fabrizio. You take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And yeah, thank you very much to Fabrizio for coming on the show as ever. Really appreciate that. And let me just get the chat back there. So yeah, I mean, look, in summary, some very interesting. I mean, the things that I take away from that were that this PSG, we spoke about this yesterday. I mean, we were meant to have Fabrizio on yesterday, and obviously he'd been celebrating a lot from the Italian win, so couldn't make it yesterday afternoon, so we put it back. But I did get that email from him, and we had Sky Sports yesterday afternoon saying that personal terms are being worked on and that PSG are a threat. And I said at the time, even before I'd had the email from Fabrizio, that this is slow sports news. This is not Sky Sports news. PSG were interested 3 weeks ago. And, you know, personal terms are not a problem. We just heard it there from Fabrizio's own mouth that PSG were looking at Varane a few weeks ago. They're not looking at Varane now. They've got Ramos, and that personal terms are not a problem. So this story in England that we're working on personal terms and that PSG might be in for Varane, no. And what I would take from that as well is, and I'm sure you picked it up on it as well, and Fabrizio, if you go back and listen to it, on at least 2 occasions, I heard him saying pretty much that, you know, Varane wants to go. Varane wants a new challenge. Now, Fabrizio is obviously at the very top of his game, and he's not going to play 90% club with us, is he? And he's certainly not going to say, here we go. But I think it looks very positive around Varane. And it goes back to what I said this morning about the story that people close to the deals have said they'd be stunned if it doesn't happen. It goes back to what we said on Friday, which came from Phil Brown at Malikins, that, again, similar sort of thing. People close to this deal are very excited about it. So Varane at the moment looks very, very good. And it seems to me what's happening here is that Real Madrid want Varane to say he wants to go. And then when he does that, they'll negotiate a price. And I just wonder, sometimes in a person's contract, if you ask to go, you don't get a loyalty payment or something like that. This happened with Sancho. If Sancho put a transfer request in last summer, there was something about a loyalty payment. So I just wonder if there is some sort of reason why Manchester United haven't put an official bid in when Varane wants to go and we've offered the better deal. I just wonder why Real Madrid are waiting. Maybe they're trying to change his mind, maybe not. But I do think that it's looking very, very positive about Varane. And if you don't believe my words, just listen back to what Fabrizio had to say about it, because I think the positivity came very much from him there. Camavinga, I think, is very much a waiting game. Fabrizio sort of backed that up, didn't he? That, he could go next year. And look, let's not forget, Varane could wait a year to go as well. He could go for nothing, as we know, could Paul Pogba. But I tell you what, Pogba's very interesting. A little bit of hope there that Fabrizio said that, Pogba could end up staying at Manchester United. They won't sell him on the cheap. They'd rather gamble and try and get him on a contract. Now, what we think about that, to be honest with you, if it hits August the 31st and PSG offer €40 million and United say, no, we're going to keep him and let him run his contract down, that's always a big decision. Some people would say, take the 35 million. Some people would say, no, keep him for another year. But, it'd be interesting to see how that works. But there is hope. Maybe he signs a new contract. I don't know how he signs a new contract at Manchester United, for the reason I said to Fabrizio, Mino Raiola. Why would you sign even £500,000 a week for Pogba? Which, to be honest with you, I think our fan base would break down if we gave Paul Pogba any more than 350k a week. But imagine even if we gave Paul Pogba 500k a week, he can make a lot more than that in a year. And people will say he's not worth £500,000 a week, and I think you're right. But he can make more than that next year, and so can Mino Raiola. So I don't know how we get him to sign a new contract. I really don't. Jesse, interest from Europe, but it seems to be between West Ham and Manchester United. Hopefully West Ham can put the offer in that is agreeable for everybody. One of the things I did want to ask, just going back to Varane, it feels like the next week will be key, but it feels like he may not be. And to be honest with you, if Varane signs on, what did I say this morning? I said around the 25th of July. As long as Varane is in training with Manchester United by the end of the month, we're not playing Leeds till August the 14th. So that would be absolutely fine. Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, Jaden Sancho, Luke Shaw, they're not going to be back in training until the start of August anyway. So the next couple of weeks, I think, will be Varane. Tom says, Varane, we're not Varane's first choice. Well, we definitely are, mate. There's nobody else in the race. He wants to come to the Premier League. And Advath Warrior says, somebody could come into it. Somebody could come into the race, but you're only as good as your percentage is only as good as today. I don't think people understand this. If I say, look, I'm 90% sure we're going to get Varane today, and then Chelsea enter the race tomorrow, I'm probably going to drop that down a lot. But as of now, looking very, very good. Trippier, there's no point asking anything on Trippier at the moment because we asked him about Trippier last week. The fact is Trippier's away for 3 weeks. Atletico Madrid want more than we want to pay. And Trippier needs to get some work done on that Atletico Madrid stance, because we can't pay more than £20 million for Trippier. He's a backup right back at the end of the day. I think he'd be a very good signing to bring to Manchester United. I really do. I think Wan-Bissaka would benefit from that. I saw somebody today saying, let's get Dan James as a backup right back. Let's get Trippier. Yeah, let's get Trippier. But no, I think I think Trippier could happen, but I don't think it's one that's happening at the moment. But look, we might end up in a situation where we get Varane, we get Sancho, obviously, we keep Pogba, we keep Van der Beek, and we get Trippier in, and that's our business. And people would say, well, where's the CDM? Well, where was the CDM last year? He would either have to put Pogba into the midfield and put McTominay or Fred with him, which I think is better than McFred. Look, Pogba with McTominay or Pogba with Fred is better than McFred every day of the week. I like Fred and Pogba better than I do McTominay and Pogba. But look, Pogba in the centre of the midfield is what we need to do. That's what we need. 100%. Zuma to replace Ollie. What price is the ideal for Varane? Dan James at right back. Does Zuma even play for Chelsea? I like Zuma. I think he's a good player, but I don't know. I wouldn't take him at Manchester United over Varane. I do think he's underrated. I do, but I wouldn't take him at Manchester United over Varane. But hey, Mark, do you have information regarding the Manchester United female team? No, I don't. Sancho medical. Just when I was on air, actually, won't be tonight, in the next 24 hours. I think that was from James Ducker. In fact, I can give you the news. Doesn't sound like an official announcement for Jaden Sancho to Manchester United will come today as things stand. Yeah, this is a big deal for United. I don't think they're going to rush it through tonight. Effectively, as long as you film everything and get it all ready, you can do it tomorrow. Sancho can be on these holidays. But I think it will happen tomorrow. Yeah, I think it'll happen tomorrow. Anyway, quick show. Rafael Varane, big news on that. Big shout out to Fabrizio. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Really enjoy doing these quick updates with Fabrizio, and it's nice to be able to do them live as well. And I will speak to you very, very soon. We're back at 8 o'clock as well. Speak to you later. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And some good updates on Varane. I would say it's sounding very positive, and it's sounding very positive from what Fabrizio's just told us. Speak to you all in a bit.